Welcome to this edition of the Dad Jokes Explained episode. My name is Graeme Klass, and I'm the producer of the Daily Dad Jokes podcast. Each week, we examine a set of dad jokes and explain them what makes them so funny. Our aim is to arm you with information on delivering your own dad jokes to your friends and family, so you can further spread the laughs and groans. Let's get to it.
I once got my picture taken with REM. That's me in the corner.
This joke cleverly references REM's famous song, Losing My Religion, which includes the lyric, "That's me in the corner." The humor arises from using this line to describe literally being in a photos corner with the band. This creates an amusing twist by linking a well-known musical phrase to an everyday scenario. The punchline relies on wordplay and cultural familiarity for its comedic effect.
I was in the bar last night when the waitress yells, "Does anyone know CPR?" I yelled back, "I know all those letters." Everyone laughed, well, except this one guy.
This joke plays on the double meaning of CPR. The waitress urgently seeks someone with cardiopulmonary resuscitation skills, but the speaker humorously misinterprets it as simply knowing letters. This misunderstanding creates a comedic disconnect between the seriousness of CPR and trivial knowledge of alphabet characters. The punchline is further enhanced by implying that one person didn't find it funny due to their potential medical emergency.
People always ask where I got my incredibly detailed tattoo done, but they never believe me when I tell them Spain. Nobody expects the Spanish ink precision.
This joke cleverly plays on the phrase, "Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition," a well-known line from Monty Python's comedy. By substituting Inquisition with ink precision, it humorously links detailed tattoo work to Spain in an unexpected way. The punchline relies on this twist, creating surprise through wordplay and cultural reference. The humor lies in blending historical context with modern tattoo culture for comedic effect.
I hate to bring up politics, but Trump accepting that jet as a gift is just plain wrong.
This joke uses a pun on the word plane, which sounds like plane. It humorously criticizes Trump by suggesting that accepting a jet is morally wrong, playing on the dual meaning. The punchline relies on this clever wordplay to create an amusing twist. By connecting political commentary with aviation terminology, it adds a layer of irony and surprise.
A man showed up for a duel armed only with a pencil and paper. He then proceeded to draw his weapon.
This joke hinges on the double meaning of draw. In a duel context, it typically means to pull out a weapon. Here, it's humorously interpreted as sketching with pencil and paper. The clever twist lies in using artistic activity to fulfill an expectation of combat readiness.
My dad gave me an AM radio for my birthday. What an idiot. He knows I'm never up that early.
This joke plays on the misunderstanding of AM as both a radio frequency and a time of day. The humor arises from the sun's literal interpretation, assuming it's meant for early morning use rather than understanding it refers to amplitude modulation. This creates an amusing disconnect between expectation and reality, highlighting his lack of technical knowledge about radios. The punchline relies on this misinterpretation for comedic effect.
My friend works in IT and I asked him, "How do you make a motherboard?" He said, "I usually tell her about my job."
The humor in this joke comes from a pun on the word motherboard. In computing, a motherboard is a crucial hardware component. The friend humorously interprets it as making his mother bored by talking about his IT job. This play on words creates an amusing twist through unexpected interpretation and double meaning.
A Mexican man was arrested for the attempted murder of his wife. He was trying tequila.
This joke cleverly plays on the double meaning of tequila. While it sounds like the phrase "to kill her," it's also a well-known alcoholic beverage. The humor arises from this pun, suggesting that instead of attempting murder, he was simply trying to drink tequila. This unexpected twist creates comedy by subverting serious expectations with a light-hearted wordplay.
My 5-year-old boy asked me if I knew what a solar eclipse was. I said, no, son.
This joke plays on the homophonic nature of no sun and no sun. When asked about a solar eclipse, which occurs when the moon blocks sunlight from reaching Earth, responding with no sun cleverly implies both ignorance and absence of sunlight. The humor lies in this dual interpretation, where one phrase serves two meanings. This wordplay creates an amusing twist by combining parental dialogue with astronomical phenomena.
I asked the surgeon if I could administer my own anesthesia. He said, go ahead. Knock yourself out.
The humor in this joke arises from the phrase, knock yourself out, which has a double meaning. Literally, it suggests causing unconsciousness, fitting the context of anesthesia. Figuratively, it's an informal way to say, go ahead, or give permission. The pun creates comedy by linking these interpretations in an unexpected medical setting.
An enthusiastic activist quickly walked up to me and yelled, "Free Palestine." I thanked him as I thought to myself, damn, that's a hell of a bargain.
The humor in this joke arises from a play on the word free. The activist uses it as an imperative to support Palestine's liberation, while the speaker misinterprets it as receiving something at no cost. This misunderstanding creates comedy through contrasting interpretations of a single phrase. The punchline relies on this linguistic ambiguity for its comedic twist.
At breakfast, my son asked, "Is Captain Crunch still alive?" I said, "No, he was pretty old." Then he asked, "Did they cremate him, like Grandpa?" "No, son, he was buried."
This joke hinges on a pun involving the word buried, which sounds like buried. Captain Crunch is a cereal brand known for its berry-flavored variety, creating an amusing twist when linked to burial customs. The humor arises from this clever play on words, as it combines breakfast cereal imagery with funeral terminology. By using wordplay to answer the son's question in an unexpected way, it adds surprise and levity.
How do you lose 10 pounds eating a piece of cake? You just have to get your cake in central London.
This joke plays on the double meaning of pounds, which can refer to both weight and British currency. Eating cake typically adds weight, but in central London, known for its high prices, it humorously suggests losing money instead. The punchline relies on this clever wordplay between financial loss and dietary gain. By linking these concepts unexpectedly, it creates an amusing twist through linguistic ambiguity.
What do you call a drunk parrot that makes fun of everyone? Tequila Mockingbird.
This joke cleverly combines wordplay with literary reference. Tequila Mockingbird is a pun on the title of Harper Lee's novel To Kill a Mockingbird. The humor arises from imagining an inebriated parrot, which adds absurdity to the scene. This unexpected twist blends alcohol-related imagery with classic literature for comedic effect.
I told my father that I was having a rough time. He said, "Cheer up, the winds of change are coming." Then he started throwing quarters at me until I left.
This joke relies on a pun involving change, which can mean both transformation and coins. The father's advice suggests metaphorical change, but he humorously interprets it literally by throwing quarters. This unexpected action creates a comedic twist through the dual meaning of the word. The punchline is enhanced by subverting emotional support with physical comedy.
My wife dramatically ripped the blankets off me last night, but I will recover.
This joke plays on the double meaning of recover. Literally, it refers to putting blankets back on after they were pulled off. Figuratively, it suggests emotional recovery from a traumatic event. The humor comes from linking these interpretations in an unexpected way using wordplay.
Someone called me on my phone, coughed and sneezed, and then hung up. I'm getting sick and tired of these cold calls.
This joke cleverly uses the term cold calls, which typically refers to unsolicited marketing phone calls. Here, it humorously suggests that the call was literally cold due to coughing and sneezing sounds. The punchline arises from this unexpected twist on a common phrase, blending telemarketing jargon with symptoms of illness for comedic effect. By combining these elements in an amusing way, it creates a light-hearted play on words.
I got a job as a cuckoo in a huge cuckoo clock in my local mall. The pay is not great, but it gets me out of the house.
This joke humorously describes a job as a cuckoo in a clock, which is inherently absurd, since it's typically done by mechanical birds. The phrase, "gets me out of the house," plays on the literal action of popping out to announce time and figuratively leaving home for work. It creates comedy through an unexpected career choice combined with wordplay about movement. The punchline hinges on this dual interpretation, blending everyday expressions with whimsical scenarios for comedic effect.
Someone once offered me a free radio, but the volume was permanently stuck on max. I thought, I can't turn that down.
This joke hinges on a clever pun involving the phrase, "can't turn that down." Literally, it suggests an inability to lower the radio's volume. Figuratively, it's often used to express accepting an offer you can't refuse. The humor arises from this double meaning, creating a playful twist where both interpretations are true simultaneously.
I spent my entire life savings on pasta. It was worth every penny.
This joke plays on the word penne, which is a type of pasta and sounds like penny, a unit of currency. The humor arises from equating life savings to spending on pasta, creating an amusing twist through this pun. By linking financial worth with culinary delight, it adds playful irony to the punchline. This clever wordplay creates comedy by merging economic and gastronomic values in an unexpected way.
What do you call it when you have rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Thrice.
This joke relies on a pun involving the word thrice, which means 3 times. The humor comes from combining it with rice, creating an unexpected twist by blending meal repetition and food terminology. By using this clever play on words, it turns a mundane eating habit into something amusingly noteworthy through linguistic creativity.
I recently dropped 15 pounds. Now my friend won't let me hold his baby.
The humor in this joke comes from the double meaning of dropped 15 pounds, which can refer to both losing weight and accidentally letting something fall. The punchline hinges on the friend's concern about dropping his baby, creating an amusing twist through this wordplay. By linking weight loss with mishandling a child, it adds surprise and irony to the situation.
My ex was beautiful, but she had a lazy eye. Turns out she was seeing someone else on the side.
The humor in this joke arises from a clever play on words involving lazy eye and seeing someone else. A lazy eye condition causes one eye to wander, which is humorously interpreted as literally looking at another person. This creates a pun where the phrase suggests infidelity through visual misalignment. The unexpected twist combines physical description with relationship dynamics for comedic effect.
I once was kidnapped by a group of mimes. They did unspeakable things to me.
This joke plays on the phrase unspeakable things, which typically implies horrific acts. The humor arises from mimes being silent performers, making their actions literally unspeakable. This creates a clever twist by combining the concept of silence with an expression usually reserved for serious situations. The punchline relies on this unexpected interpretation to generate comedy through wordplay and irony. And that wraps up another episode of Daily Dad Jokes Explained. May these jokes inspire your own groan-worthy moments. This episode is produced by Klassic Studios. See the show notes page for sources and credits. Check out our other podcasts in our network at classicstudios.com.